following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
The Swarm 16's opening day action continues to roll into the afternoon here on MRE Uno, and this third match of the day is actually going to be a rematch from Automotive April's Final Four. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm your host G-Man, and we have a massive matchup coming to you here with number 4 seed Myth of the Tunnel region taking on number 9 seed Gone. Both of them fighting to try to make Super League in what could be a big heavyweight battle, and is also the second encounter between both these players this season. Let's get into it. Here's the bracket. I'm going to quickly read off the action from today so far. I did not have a schedule. We didn't have a schedule graphic ready since everyone was a bit busy today, but it's all good. Opened up the day at 10 a.m. with Tapir and Lamas, and man, that one ran long. But ultimately, Tapir is the one who gets the edge over Lamas 5-4 in a very close match. Really great way to kick off the day, but Tapir moves on in what is a crucial win to help his Super League chances. And then we resumed with what was originally supposed to start at noon, but because that first match ran so long, had a bit of a delay. Vapor and Clay. Clay looking to continue the upset trail, get some of that 2023 magic in Tournament 5. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. Vapor, who has been so dominant in these last few tournaments, gets the win 5-1. Clay got the first game win, and then from there it was all Vapor. So Vapor moves on to the Bunker Regional Final in his hopes to try and get the 1 seed after he felt that he should have been higher in the post-tournament 4 rankings. And then now we come to our 3 p.m. game, and the first of 2 that will determine the Tunnel Regional Final, the later of which will be the last game of the day. But Myth Gone coming up next, and then, as I mentioned before, 10 p.m. late night Uno. We got Andy and Tago, and we'll hand it over to Short and Tapir for some late night drives for that one to wrap up the day. And then we'll look at the bracket as we mentioned here. You see the 10 p.m. time for Tago, Andy, and then this coming up next, Gone, Myth. Again, these 2 matchups will determine the Tunnel Regional Final. We'll see who gets there. Andy looking to make his first regional final appearance. Tago on a last chance desperation run to make Super League, trying to repeat last season, except with more stakes on the line this time. And then, of course, Gone and Myth in the rematch, both looking for what could be a very critical win for their seasons. Look at the matchup preview now. Again, both ranked players. Gone ranked 18th, although that is partially because this is only his 3rd tournament of the season. He had to miss Tournament 3 and Tournament 4, but again, he is 7-2 right now, so he is making the most of his appearances. But rookie versus veteran, Myth ranked 7th, quad 1, Gone quad 2. Career round of 16 record, Gone tournament 2. In that big run, he made it through there. In terms of the overall, I believe he has only lost in this round once last year, and I believe that was in tournament 4. Tournament 4 for D2. And then for Myth, 3-1 record in the round of 16. So both players really good in this round. We'll see who breaks through. And of course the career accolades. Again, a silver for Gone, and then that bronze I believe is a D2 bronze from Tournament 2's April Airwave. And then for Myth has a bronze medal from Automotive April. CPU prediction has Gone 5-4, and I think that's partially because Gone won the first encounter between these 2 last time 6-4. So CPU favoring Gone since there is some prior data to back this one up. Myth looking to settle the score and make things a 1-1 set count in this season. we'll jump to the stream now. I am joined by my co-commentator Yoshi. It's good to have you back in the booth, Yoshi. We've seen this match before. It was a really good match back in April, but some time has passed now, and we are now in the middle of August in the last regular season tournament of the year, and now they're going at it again. Your thoughts on what both these players bring to the table, the motivations on what they need to do to get the win here, as they both want to get want to prove something with a win here against each other.
Myth is looking pretty good for Super League, and Gon. I mean, given that he hasn't lost yet, is also in a pretty good spot. So for Gon, there may be a little bit of stakes here. You could argue that he still needs to beat Myth to make it. Myth is kind of looking good, so I feel like this is just kind of a battle of like how just both players trying to see how far they can go. They end up playing each other. This is for not the first time. This will be their second time they've played. Maybe third. I don't really remember, but I played Myth last tournament. He's definitely not an easy player to go against. I think he has this set strategy, kind of almost like Captain, where he goes to like relatively low compared to most players, and just runs with whatever he has. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. In this season, it has worked pretty well, so maybe he can get it done against Gon. Although I do think Gon has quite a bit of experience also on the low tier, or at least the 7 to 8. I think he'll kind of roll with that and try and play as best as possible. But I think Gon is definitely also more of like an adaptive player. I feel like he can kind of learn the style early and then figure it out towards the end. We saw that when he made that finale run. So I feel like knowing that he's played this person before, it could definitely shake things up of like how does he play against Myth again? Um, like, will Myth try something different? Is he going to continue with his usual strats? There's a lot to think about with that, but I think this should be a good match either way.
Yep, indeed. We saw this once, and we're going to get a rematch here. Gon not able to VC right now. We'll post his message in a second, but we'll start with Myth here since he is in the VC. You played Gon back in the Final Four of Automotive April. Ultimately, did not get the win there. You come back into this one with the goal of redemption here. What were your thoughts from that match in Automotive April against Gon? And what do you take from that going into this one to try and work a way around his game plan and get the win this time?
This time it's about redemption. Last time I wasn't too far off from winning. I was 4-6. So I'm hoping put up a close battle, and I'm hoping this time I pull out the win.
All right, thank you, Myth. Again, we posted the question for Gon here. Kind of a similar question, but kind of flips it on his face. Gon, this is your first rematch of the season, and in a tournament where every win counts, you're hoping to go 2-0 on a top 10 player currently. What do you take from your first encounter back in April into this one, and in what ways do you believe the time gap since the last one can make a difference? So we'll see what Gon has to say on that one. Again, Gon was the one who ended up winning in April 6-4, made it to the finale where ultimately he would go on to lose. But again, a breakout run from Gon in tournament 2. But technically that was also his last tournament since he missed tournament 3 and tournament 4. So he's kind of in a way riding that momentum all the way back from April.
It is true. Last time he lost was against in the finale. So sometimes for some players it doesn't end up very well. But for others it gives them momentum. So there's a lot that can come with that. I feel like, yeah, Gon is just a player you can't underestimate. I mean, it's kind of like, the best comparison I can make is when you see players like J Money in D2 who don't sometimes they can't play every tournament, but when they do play, they generally play really good. So that's kind of like the vibe I get with Gon, at least in this season.
All right. Just had a big check he was there typing now, but again, I mean with Gon he's been on a good roll. I mean, beat Ziemba in the opening round. That is a ranked win, and then beat Gold in Toxic 32 last round. So that's another big win that helps him out. Gon has just kind of been someone who has been able to find big win after big win, which is really helping him despite him missing 2 tournaments. So, in a way, kind of going on a run similar to Ashley, although Ashley was only missed 1 tournament last season. And I don't think this is as dominant, but again, it could be dominant because if Gon makes it back to the finale again, then you're kind of seeing some shades of it. I don't know if that'd be enough to win the regular season title per se, but it puts him in a really good spot to at least make the field.
Yeah, there's a lot, potentially a lot on the line if Gon does make another run. But yeah, to your point of the Gon just finding these really good wins. I mean, you almost think that he's looking pretty good for Super League, even if he loses here. Because Myth, I mean, if he gets this win, he's looking like to at least get some sort of bye. So I feel like um, which for Gon it just looks better on him that he he has like a 1-1 record on him. So there's a lot of interesting things that comes with that. Yeah, definitely one of the more interesting games because I feel like it's against 2 people who are actually almost secure for Super League.
All right, Gon has responded. It's been a long time since the first Myth match, and I know he's gotten much better in the meantime. So while I'm still looking to use some strategy from the first match, I'm going to be expecting a completely new match. I also expect the same in return, as it's also a known opponent in the meantime, and I haven't had as many matches in the meantime, so we'll have to see. All right, again, the rematch, it's going to be a bit of the same, but also a bit different here. Both are going to try a few different things, but also carry over some of their stuff from before. Was a good match the first time. Hopefully, we get the same here. Myth, you have the call for game 1 since you are the higher seed. Feel free to open us up with the card start.
All right, I'm go up 7.
All right,
Okay.
OG7. Tago will
Yep.
be our ref.
I think if you get Myth starting at a card set that isn't 7, there is a problem. So, uh, I I don't know when he's not picked 7 as his first card star. So, you know, it's it's just one of those things where you die on that hill, and it's in a way where you've committed to it. So, okay, Tago. Let me see.
Tago may have gone to grab something. Or, well, no, he's
Oh,
gone. That's not good. There he is.
oh, okay. I think something must have happened.
Myth picked 7, Tago, so. All right, there you go.
There you go.
And we're underway. Green skip is going to be over. So that could be a bit of an opportunity here for Myth to kickstart this with a big run here. But again, it all depends on that opening draw.
Yeah, we got the Lara card there, which Lara's still in the tournament. So is Captain.
Llamas lost earlier today, so he is not. But we are going to stick with the green and only numbers, so no run from Myth for now.
Wait, that's ALP, I think.
Oh, is it 2 power play? I think it's 2. Yes,
Yeah, 2 power play.
I had the score. I had the scoreboard wrong. That's why. Oh my God, there's the run, but
Ooh,
it is going to be a draw.
okay. How many? Wait. Okay, no.
It's
So
3.
Myth is at 3 before that, and then had to draw. Okay, so interesting play there. Maybe, and I don't know. Maybe Myth maybe deciding that I'm just gonna play with the card, whatever card I am able to play, and then see what Gon does about that. I mean, you kind of reveal that you don't have blue, and you likely also don't have green. So interesting spot here. I mean, now if you're gone, you'd think about like now you look at your hand. I mean, you probably will need the colors that Myth needs, but just how are you going to get there?
All right, Gone taking a second to think about this. He's just gonna play a number. I think
All
for
right,
Myth, he's just
so
kind of hoping the bank for a quick switch doesn't get it.
yeah, I mean the safe play is just to keep it blue and going enough to draw. So both players not having great hands to start. So maybe this will come down to what they get off the top decks here.
One thing I noticed right away is, I mean, Gone just taking a second. Like, Gone is not going as quick as Myth, like going a little bit slower. I mean, there was points where he'll respond in due time, but I think Gone doesn't want this to become a the 100-meter dash of kind of game.
Okay, there's our switch. Oh my goodness, and another reverse into a draw. It's
I think Myth got that off one of the draws there, because I think he would have played that in that big run had he had it before.
for sure. It's just surprising that he also doesn't have red, but okay, goes into
Wild.
green. Maybe he was trying to
Uh,
bait the green switch, but Gon didn't have
I
the outer
think
opportunity.
I think that was a top deck. Gone is still in the lead, but we are running green. I mean, the biggest thing is the draw. There it is. So Myth looking
Okay.
to roll here.
Yeah, I mean now Mythos is looking good. It just had to hope for that draw. Gon maybe getting a top deck though.
Green
Oh my god.
skip maybe disrupts it. Could also not matter. Oh, it actually does disrupt it. Top deck green 3. Does Myth get a top deck?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. We've seen a lot of ammo into a draw. It makes sense because it's the low card start, like, but I'm just surprised how many times we're seeing that.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god,
god.
he got a top deck +4. He is finding every top deck so far in game 1.
Yeah, you'd think he has red to end, but that skip made make Gon think. Oh
Risky
wow, that's an
switch,
interesting
risky
play.
switch. It wasn't
Oh, it
gonna
didn't
matter.
matter. Fair play.
Man. Unfortunate for Gone. I mean, good idea there, but it really wasn't going to matter unless he had some sort of ammo there. Myth's going to open up a scoring 1-0. Myth, it seemed like you were really able to find the draws there in that one. Just walk me through that real quick.
Yeah, at the beginning, I was hesitant about. I had a similar play at the beginning, but I was like, I felt like I was too early, so I was like, not to have the luck of the draw, and then the wild had the direction, and then I took the risk because I had two red twos, so I figured even if he switched the color, I should be set.
All right. Well, for Gone says he had one skip. And that was the only power card he ended up having there. So, bit unfortunate there, but I mean, again, I think the yellows 2 was a risky switch, but I mean, I think he had the right idea. The problem is just Myth had number card efficiency, so it wasn't gonna matter.
Yeah, I'm assuming that by 15 cards he means all the cards that he got in the game.
Yeah, because Myth has the call game too. I'm assuming that's the amount of cards he had.
Yeah. So I really that was a like going for that +4 into Uno usually is like risky, but it was a very calculated risk for Myth because the only way that Gon could have prevented that was a wild out of red or some kind of ammo, and without that, Gon didn't really have any opportunity to stop that. So yeah, double red 2 to finish that off.
All right, well, I don't really got much for Gone on that one. I think we got a lot of insight from Myth here, but we'll jump to game 2 here. Myth has to call, just no 7.
Okay, I'm gonna go 8.
I'm gonna go 1 up. Keeps it simple.
Yeah, 8 cards. There we go.
8.
8.
There you go. And game 2 is going to get underway here, and it's going to be a blue 7. That'll open things up. Not as dramatic of a card start as before, but we'll see how this changes up. Ooh, quick switch there.
Okay.
Now you're good,
That's
don't worry.
right. Gone with this. Now having to adjust to the yellow switch goes for Camaro. Going one up. Yep, can't go higher than 9, so gonna have to draw, and then we're going back down to 5. Okay, that's a new color. We go into red. Yeah, with these cards, these low card starts, like sometimes the player just doesn't have a color, and Gon is trying to find that weak color. Oh my goodness, the myth just keeps rolling with these. There we go. That's the first draw on green.
And Gone, keep things going. Yes, he can. Going to be a double play there.
Oh, it does get a green 9 though. Okay.
They've shuffled Gone out there. Maybe could have gotten a switch off that 3 potentially, or the 2 potentially.
Yeah, it's very interesting so far. Both, I think, were at 3 by that point, and now they're going to have to draw back here. Oh, another green 8. And both getting a green. And Myth
There's
able
the
to
switch.
switch.
So that's good for both of them because now we're at a 3-color game at this point. So blue, red, yellow is going to be what they're fighting on, and both are
Ooh,
actually pretty
okay.
low in the cards. But Gone is going on a bit of a run himself.
This is interesting. Does he have the finish? That.
Well, it's check,
Oh, okay. So just throwing out all ammo and hoping that Myth doesn't have anything.
and
Yeah,
that'll
that's
do
going
it.
to be it.
Red 5, Gone ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, a calculated risk from Gone, kind of similar to Mything game 1, ends up working out here.
I guess, I guess I guess the question really is for Gone at this point is, 'cause I mean there was a big draw on the greens, but ultimately, once we got the switch to blue, Gone was off running to the races.
I guess, yeah, I mean, the only thing to think about is like how much of that was from the draw city and what did he save up? Because I wouldn't be surprised if he saved the wild, but it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, an interesting game nonetheless. Seems like it seems pretty even because it, at least according to the Myth in game 2 and Gone in game 1, both these players have the games that they lost. At least they didn't really have much to work with. So going back and forth for now, but things could easily change.
This question for Gone there. For Myth, I mean, said had no actions. I mean, 225. Myth, I mean, your thoughts. We talked about game 1, how it felt like the pace was going a little bit slower on Gone's end. Your thoughts on how the pace has been thus far from your perspective?
Yeah, it's just like I was drawing for a while though. I was just like trying to find some action, but all I had was numbers I couldn't really work with until it was too late.
We'll see what Gone has to say because I am curious what he held and what was a switch. I mean, I'm curious if I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the what's it, I think I wouldn't be surprised if some of the reverses were holds. I think the wild is definitely one of the biggest draws to get there, but the biggest thing with this
Yeah, for
combo
sure.
especially is because he would have needed 2 plays to complete it out because he had the blues and then the yellow reverse and then had to go to get the wild to get that stray red. But um, I am pretty curious to see where he found cards and then where he drew them. But again, it's a 1-1 tie after the first homestand. So Gon's going to have the call for game 3. We'll see what he has to say. But only actually card that was a draw was the blue reverse. I remember correctly. Was holding the others to try to get some color links, and it worked thankfully. I don't pay much attention to the home games because I like a myth, because games never tend to be a sprint to the finish, so we'll just have to see 9 cards. Okay, so we're going to keep moving up here, and for Gon, actually had the wild before, wild before. So interesting. He had that in the first
Oh
place,
my
but
god.
another green skip. Second of the series.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, once again, we're just going to see just a green number, nothing too crazy there.
Alright, green 7, green 5. We're going down by increments of 2 here.
Yeah,
We're
Gon
going up and
was.
down by increments. Well, that's going to be 3, and we could play Gon's card, actually. And he's drawing on his own card.
Ooh. Yeah, Gon with 2 green 5s, and seems like that's all he had, and now he's got to figure out if he should switch or not. He's going to switch into red. Okay, but Myth has the opportunity to cross that over. Okay. Gon responds to the +2, so trying to make sure that if Myth had something on yellow. Ooh, okay, and now he's just taking risks left and right with these switches. Goes into blue.
Yeah, split down the half there, and blue keeps on rolling for now. Gon with the lead is 3 to 5. We have seen this spot before. Myth draws. Can Gon get down to 2? Typing, this could be a finisher here. It's gonna be a double, and plays Myth's card right there. But he only gets a Uno. Gets a blue 2. Is that gonna be enough to stop it? Yes, it will be. May have not had anything anyways, but for now at least keeps the game alive.
All right, well, oh my
Ooh,
goodness, and I
risky
was gonna
switch.
say you.
Works out.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say what? Never
Another
mind.
risky switch.
What is going on?
Gon has it this time. Myth down to 2. Can Gon get the Uno?
Yeah, I mean,
Switch the
oh
green.
my!
Double Uno here. Can Gon get the
This is
finish?
crazy.
Yes, Ditto to end it. And Gon up 2-1. Red. Oh my god.
Let me see. So, oh yeah, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, because if you played the, I see. Because either way, he would have been able to switch into green. Dang.
Crazy
So
finish to that one.
I was gonna say, like, we saw. I get why Myth went for the risk. Uh, in hindsight, that was pretty unlucky for his last 2 cards to be the numbers that you also have. But yeah, that's just the risk you take. Like if you gamble on switching multiple times, eventually it's not going to work out. And I think, yeah, I mean it was a gamble. Myth just didn't was one turn short at least in that sense.
I mean, another thing I mentioned, I'm asking Gon on that, but another one, there was only 2 ammo cards that entire game. This was a majority numbers run, and both ammo cards were only in doubles. So, really running the numbers in that one. Gon actually also had both ammo cards as well, which, I guess plays a difference, but I guess for Myth, didn't really have much there, but you were really close to getting that finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what there is to ask. It seemed like both players had a strategy, and unfortunate that it's funny. Like I feel like we see like these color switches that either uh, are the key for the opponent to win or the key for you to win, and so there's so many things with that kind of stuff. Like it's just it takes one good color switch for someone to have the path to the finish. So really got to be careful about that.
Alright, well, really weird ending. Number efficiency just became key, and I'm eating my words about sprinting because that was a sprint there at the end, at the finish. Yeah, definitely a sprint there for that one, and we are going to continue the climb up one at a time. We go to 10. So game 4, yellow 9. Gon just wants to keep it going. I think Myth will be in agreement with that as well. Myth looking to do the same as Gon did and tie it up with the second game of this homestand. And make it 2-2 going into what will be the middle portion of the series.
Yeah, maybe want some more action cards. Let's see.
I mean, for Myth does want to avoid a situation that Clay got into where he opened up the series with a game 1 win and then ultimately got gentleman swept. So Myth hoping to avoid that fate, but we gotta switch to green.
Yeah, so now it comes down to the color. Like I said, I think with a lot of these games that we see in this bot, like color switches are one of the biggest things um, to these games. As we're seeing a lot of these switches from Gone here, Myth trying to play it cool.
Blue 2, we are rolling with blue at the moment. And Gone is out, so that's the first draw. Myth gets to switch the red, so Gone probably gets broken free for a bit, but the problem is he is now behind.
And yeah, we're seeing like, you know,
Ditto.
you see a lot where players you see them draw, but it's then becomes the thing where do you want to go to draw city or do you want to go aggressive on those switches? And that's
Wild
Myth is
green.
just going to go aggressive. Seems like that's his main strategy here, and in this case, it probably will work.
A bit down to 3 cards here, looking for a finish, and he's gonna get it. And now it's 2-2, 2 minutes on the dot for that game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is kind of how some of these games go, where it's like a quick sprint here. Gon was able to get the win and escape in game 3, but game 4, Myth is going to get the last laugh, and now we are tied 2-2. And Gon says he had some ammo, so might be interesting to see what he had there. But Myth, I mean, your thoughts, you've kind of shifted the pace up a little bit faster now, kind of a bit more in your tempo, but you're going to have the homestand back once again for game 5. Your thoughts on just kind of what you need to do is just keep where you are at the moment, since the pace seems to have gone back to the place where you're usually most comfortable.
It feels good to have the momentum back, and this time there was some more action because games 2 and 3 I had pretty much no action cards, so it felt good to have more action cards this time around.
So, I mean, Gon mentioned he should have used the ammo, so I'm curious if he had something either on green or maybe like a +4.
Oh yeah,
He had
plus
5
4 would have been
cards,
a missed
so...
opportunity there.
Or, yeah, he had 5 cards when the wild green was played, so... Maybe he was hoping for no finish, green 6, and then maybe going a run of his own, potentially. That could be on the table, but...
Yeah, you maybe waiting to use the ammo until he was at 2. Wasn't expecting the 3-card run, which I've been bit by that before, where a player's at 3 cards, I take a risk and they get the a skip combo into a number. So it's the +2s. Yeah, okay. So I understand a little bit more. Trying to save that. Um,
Alright. Yeah, try to hold off on the +2s again. It doesn't want to like try to throw that +6 early, especially with Myth. Can cause a longer game, but also a very fast pace. Which is like the interesting thing with Myth, because like sometimes with Myth style it goes for long games, but like the pace is always very rapid. It's just no one can really find a finish. So you go that long, and then you're adding the fact that it's fast and it's also an endurance battle. So I was hoping he could drag it out a little longer. Ultimately, Myth kind of had the surprise on him and got the 3-card run to the finish. But Myth game 5, we've seen the trend go up by 1. Will it continue? Let's find out. You have the call.
All right, it will not continue. Instead, I'm going 6.
Ooh, it goes the opposite way.
All right. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Actively going for these low tiers, and like almost like a captain strat in a way.
Well, it's backfiring right now. Myth draws on the first turn.
Yeah, this is interesting. This isn't the worst thing in the world, depending on if Gon also draws, but if he does have cards, he does not though, so kind of neutralized here.
No yellows for anyone, but Myth gets a top deck
Oh,
blue. Not gonna be good for Gon if he drew a yellow off that, but if he didn't, might be okay.
yeah, we'll see. Now they're starting on blue. Now they're going to be able to play most likely, unless one of them doesn't have much on blue. And we're going to switch into green, actually.
This is the thing with these really low card, like 5 and 6 especially. It's like every switch is a risky switch, especially at the start of the game. So, sometimes you got to go for it though. You got to see that path and I guess push it to the limit. And ooh, okay,
Oh
so
my.
and he actually goes back to yellow.
Oh my
That's
god.
interesting move from Gon. Is there a potential finish? Maybe just forcing out the draw and wrapping it up here. Myth draws. Does Gon have a finish? I think he does. And wow, double reverse to
Wow.
end it. And the gamble ends up working in Gon's favor now. Yeah, 124 on the clock. Quickest of the series thus far.
I don't even know. Like, um, both drawing on yellow there. I mean, Gon maybe not wanting to use those reverses immediately ended up working out. Yeah, like, and it's funny,
Another
like,
yellow reverse. So he had two
oh, you
yellow
just got another.
reverses then.
Oh my god.
It's an interesting hold on the wild though. He didn't want to go for it right away. Because he could have gone yellow reverse and then wild into, let's say, the blue. That was definitely on the table potentially. But ultimately a good hold there to wait and see how it played out. And the Myth did the switching for him and was able to get the win there.
Yeah, I think when you're on low ammo, like going for a switch is either going to be like a huge payout where the player draws, or the worst, or the switch that gives them the opportunity to win the game. So that's like every switch you make with a low card start. So it's tough for Myth there. I mean I don't think he could have done much. So
All right, well, don't got much from Myth here. Ultimately, gamble didn't work out. You have the game 6 call. We'll be curious to see where you go.
All right, I'm gonna go 11.
All right, so
hmm.
Myth has decided to go back on the trend train. Um, so we are going to 11 now. Blue 4.
Yeah. So I'm thinking here we see, that I think going for that low card start, it could be worse, but yeah, seeing that you maybe continuing the trend helps out here because you won on 10, so see if 11 worked out. But yeah, another early switch in the game here.
All right, well, we are running red now, so again, we've seen a bit of an uptick in the pace. Gon trying to, again, Gon at times has been trying to avoid a sprint, so maybe just slowing the pace down a little bit. Doesn't want to get things too out of control. Again, he's up 3-2. It's 2 power plays, so technically, in theory, you could just power play the next 2 games and get the finish in both to win, but
True.
also doesn't want to get into a sprint, because sometimes we've seen so far that it's been a trade back and forth with the lead.
Yeah, I think yeah, no, that is true. Like power plays have not been used at all. We've seen experimental power plays, them being used before the end of the series, and now we're starting to see more of like a classic kind of styles where both players are going to try and save them to win those last games. if this ends up going 3-3, that's where things get very exciting in terms because now they're both going to try and find a way to use power play to win the last two games. So a lot on the line here. I think Myths almost have to win this game.
All right, 3-card play. I mean, Myth has had a few of those in the series. He's down to 2 now.
That looks almost identical to a run that he had. And let me look.
I think for Gon, we
Okay,
mentioned he could have. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So in game 4, it was a green reverse yellow 3, but it's the same thing except it skips. Oh,
Yeah, Gon remembered from game 3, I think. No, game four, where he held off on the ammo and ultimately bit him. Did not want to take that risk again. Goes to the +4. And
the +2 as
actually,
well.
I believe that's only the second +4 of the series, both at 1 apiece. Alright,
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
Myth's gonna negate the +2 from Gon, but ultimately still been thrown behind. I think this is roughly an even game at this point. Okay, Myth has a 2-card lead, make that 3 with a draw. The switch to 7 is gonna keep
Okay.
him rolling.
Wow.
Not looking good for Gon here.
Let's see. Myth looking for something. He gets a double.
And we're back in the same spot as we were before.
I mean, this has got to be a draw. Okay, yeah. I think Gon had to be patient there because it's either game or he ran out of green. So good stuff there. Not trying to go for a switch that may be fatal.
Not really sure if he really had anything in the first place, but ultimately it does work out. Again, we keep drawing on the screen 3 here with Interdraw City, but Myth gets the top deck to 5. Myth is probably looking for that switch.
Yeah, Myth is going to be the one looking for these top decks because with the low amount of cards, Gon make the one, and then you either get the switch you need by you or your opponent, and okay,
Ooh.
well as I say that, they're not gonna be low anymore. Both at 9 now.
Gon might have been looking for that connection and finally found it. Throws a +6 down, goes into blue, but we get an immediate switch to yellow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean at this point where we're going into like Plan B's, like, a lot of ammo being thrown, and more ammo from Myth as well.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the game with the most ammo in it easily. It's also been the longest game so far. We're about to hit 4:30 here. This has been a
Ooh.
war of attrition, but Myth draws on yellow and
Yeah,
potentially
no.
opens the door for Gon.
Yeah, very interesting. We see. Oh, but we go back to green. Gon. We'll see if Gon has anything on green. He does not.
The screen's not really working out for Gon here. I don't know how long Myth can run it. I don't think it's a finish from green, but he
Oh
does a
my
3-card switch
goodness.
into red.
He's really good at getting himself to the red zone in terms of cards. Gon's just starting to run out of options here.
Yeah, I mean, this green has been killer for Gon here, and it's kind of throwing him in this spot once again. I mean, Myth has been the 2 cards at least 3 times now.
I
Really
mean,
forcing Gon's hand at this point.
let's see. Does Gon might throw down like a +4. I mean, that's all I can really think Gon might have here. But he doesn't have anything, so we'll see if Myth gets the win here.
And I'll do it.
Yeah.
+4. 3-3. And we have split these homestands every single time thus far. But
Oh boy.
on maybe going for something else here, maybe a full send, something like that. But yeah, longest game of the series so far. I mean, Myth, you definitely got thrown back multiple times, but still put your foot on the gas. Your thoughts on that game, just being able to stay resilient throughout, despite getting thrown +6s, +4s, all that stuff on you, and just being able to come out with the win here and tie it up.
Is it just about the timing and just like waiting to play the cards when needed? Like I had the +4 for a while. I just wanted to save it when the time was right. At the end, the time was right once I got everything else gone.
Yeah, I see what he's saying. So that is true. Like sometimes you're trying to avoid one color that you really think a player has, and you're not necessarily wrong in that. But if they have the ammo to just switch into it without you being able to really do anything, it kind of becomes obsolete. I understand where God's coming from, though. I think I assume they haven't been on blue in a while, so definitely had a strategy just didn't work because Myth only ended up only having one blue, which was all Myth needed. So
We'll see what Gon has to say on that one. I mean, again, the green was a big issue for him. He found some ammo to be able to give him some life, but ultimately just kind of kept falling into the green color and just not being able to do much there.
yeah, now it becomes interesting because we are going to play at least 2 more games, potentially 3 if it goes 9, and Gon having the next 2 card starts. Both players with 2 power plays. I mean, you'd expect them to start using them. It's just going to come down to who uses it first and gets that 4-3 lead. Or maybe, I see some players saving both power plays to win for the last game, which, I mean, I guess which is interesting to say the least, but sometimes you do need 2 power plays. It's not like I've seen before where sometimes if you just win one game, it may take 2 power plays, but it's not often you see that.
Could have plus 2'd him again, but it would have left me open, so not much else to be done. Kept him off blue at the end, but the +4 made it obsolete. Yeah. Alright, well, it's 3-3. Gon has the call for game 7 and 8, so maybe an advantage potentially, but no power plays have been used yet, so still technically waiting for the first one to come out. Maybe it could happen this game, we'll see, but game 7 call goes to Gon, no 6, 8, or 9. Taco, feel free to give him the call.
Or yeah. Okay, so Gon just can't pick 6, 8, or 9. So he could go back. He could do a rematch. He could run back one of the card starts he lost on, or he could try. He could risk the 5, but I doubt he would do that. Unless he's done that before. I don't really know. But I could see him going like a 12 potentially. Okay, I was wrong. So he probably has done 5 before.
All right. I think Taco was just waiting for Ref C, but the big risk here. Red skipped the open, so that's a huge opportunity here if Gon has something.
Yeah, this is very interesting because if the hand is good enough, you can win and not even need to use power play, which
You could just win on the first turn, technically.
yeah.
We have seen that before on 5. We saw it like once or twice.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to wait one turn. Oh, and Gon draws. We'll see. What does Myth do? Because he needs to wait. Yeah, he plays the red 3. Now, I don't know if the bot's gonna be because sometimes the bot's weird about a draw not counting as a turn. So, if he tries to use power play, it might not work. We'll see with that though.
This
As
is
he
this is
switches to yellow.
this is backfiring horribly for Gon. Could not find any red. Myth got
Wow,
the perfect switch there.
that's crazy. Actually, Gone. Anything on
Oh,
yellow?
he has
He
a +2.
wow. So
That puts him back at
there
5. It's also gonna save him, at least in
for
theory,
sure.
unless Smith got something good off the +2.
That would be crazy. But he's gonna play yellow 6. Not gonna do anything yet. He's gone run out of yellow there. He does. That is unfortunate. But I do think that +2 is needed.
He's
Oh,
got a massively split hand. I mean, we saw the 6 not work for Myth, and Gon went for the 5, and that does not work, and now Myth is 1 away from the win.
Okay. Well, that to me is I don't did Myth have the see now we have to figure out what Myth got off that +2 because that was either a good move or a bad move and we don't know yet.
Well, I mean, we can ask him.
My God.
Myth,
Yeah, Myth.
Myth, what was the +2?
+2, let me. Yeah, initially was just like the wild and the blue one, and then afterwards I got the yellow 6 and the +2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the
So,
+2 essentially delayed the inevitable, it seems, because if he didn't use it, Myth would have power played anyway. So yeah, that's just unfortunate there. That Gon got or Myth got cards that didn't stop him. So yeah, I guess for Gon, the cards start. Yeah, that's the thing about 5 card starts. Sometimes, well, I guess on low card starts, sometimes you start on a color that you just don't have, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it definitely was unfortunate.
yeah, I'm a little surprised like Gon went for 5 there. I
Yeah,
mean, he won on 6, but I mean, the person who's picked the start has not really found much success on the low tier so far, and that's
that's
the
what.
second time we
Yeah,
saw that.
I was thinking about that. Like, because picked 6 and he lost, so going for 5 is just. I mean, like you're asking to lose. Not that it. Not that saying. I mean, like I can kind of understand it, but you're really like shooting yourself in the foot if the 5 card start ends up not working out, because at that point it's entirely on you for picking that card start. um so yeah, both players kind of kicking themselves for that, but Myth getting the advantage. Of course, Gon still can easily bring this into a game, can still end up winning this because he does have those 2 power plays where he can uh, steal games 8 and 9. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, well, for Gon, I mean, he's looking to tie this for the 4th time. We have not had anyone get a lead more than 2 in this entire series, but Gon has his last call here. He's going to need to win this one. I am curious where he goes because technically you could go 5 again, but we saw how that went the first time. I'm not really sure if it's wise to try it again, but um, it's going to be interesting to see where his head's at, where he wants to go for Game 8.
Yeah, I guess we'll let Gon know that he probably won't ask anything, and just you can go to the card start. Yeah, yeah, because for low ammo games, like there's not much to say because I mean it was pretty clear that Gon, all he had was the +2 and not much else. But yeah, I don't really know what you do if you're Gon here, because I think you just have to. You could just kind of go in. I could see him maybe trying to go in the pack that he's been winning on and try and run back the 7. If you go high, that's only a risk because Myth has been winning the double-digit card starts, but like it does give you more control in a way if of your hand. Maybe you get like a decent hand. Um, what? Yes, but because it's best of 9. Oh, did Gon think it was over?
Uh, I'm I'm not sure. I mean, every
He
single
might have.
tournament is every single tournament, best of 9 in the round of 16. So,
That is
not quite
true.
sure about that one.
I don't know. Maybe he. I mean, it's been a while for him.
All right, full side. Okay,
Okay,
he's
there we
going from
go.
bottom to top here.
Yeah. I don't hate it. Because I mean, the highest tier we've been on was 11, and to many people that's just mid. So this is the new territory for both here. This is a good play, I think. And yeah, as I say that, I'm the card start.
The reverse could be the last game here, depending on how this goes. Gone looking to force game 9.
Yeah, now things get interesting. How are both players going to adapt to this full send? And we know both players are going to be looking for that power play finish. We'll see. This is gonna be come down to balancing out the offense and defense. I think as we go for the green switch into green for Myth here.
There's screen 7, a little clip play there.
I haven't seen a lot of those.
A few dittos, and Gon's actually gonna go for a reverse and draw, so
Okay, interesting. Could be an indicator that he doesn't have any more reverses, which Myth can use in the back of his mind for later. But the 0 not going to stop Myth from switching though. Maybe Gon was looking for the draw city, just didn't get it there. Let's see. Now we're just keep going down on these cards. Ooh, okay. Triple play from Gon. We've seen a lot of triple plays from Myth. So Gon trying to return the favor. See if blue works out on for Gon. Well, maybe he's been playing a bit tricky, switching out of blue now.
yellow one. Yeah, I mean we've
Haven't
seen a
seen
few
many.
switches here, but ultimately I think it's Smith currently. I feel like Myth has a better grasp of it, although I think that double gives some separation, which could help Gon out.
Ditto play again. I'm curious about Gon's hand here. We saw that early draw on green, but since then he's just been able to have a pretty decent lead. Myth, I mean, does he try and go aggressive here, or is he going to try and play patient, hoping for the draw? It's a tough call here, but he's going to play it cool.
Times 2 combo on the dittos there.
I mean, I could see Gon getting a finish pretty soon. Oh, wow, he goes into blue.
3 to 6.
I don't know about that, depending on what Myth has. Oh,
Gon does need to be careful here.
yeah, he can't afford to lose another game. We'll see. Does he potentially have the finish here? I don't know, because he maybe he didn't expect that switch into red.
Taking a second. Type this one out. And that's it. Wow, and he doesn't even use the power play at a double +4.
Okay. Interesting. So
I'm actually curious if Gon doesn't realize there's 2 power play. That could be potentially what's happening, or maybe he's just saving them for game 9. I'm not really sure, but we are going to a game 9.
I mean, I don't even know what to say on that. I mean, Gon with that early draw, it ended up never going back to green, which I think helped him a lot. I'm not the question I'm most curious about is what did Myth have left, because he was getting close, but I don't know if he had any ammo he was saving or he just didn't have anything. Oh, wait.
He was close. I don't see a massive connection there, but
yeah, that's tough actually. I see. So he didn't have any connections on red, which yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, you don't want to use your power play on that. No, that makes sense. So no, I think that's fair then, because yeah, I thought yeah. So he had connections on green and blue, but red was kind of rough. He would have had the hope for Yeah, no, that's tough. I don't really know what to say there. Just slightly off on finding a finish there, and Myth's gonna have to hope he clutches it on game 9. I mean, I don't really know. Both players have at least one power play. I mean, Gone with 2, I don't really know how he's gonna handle that. But he might only need 1 to win this one. But like I said, maybe if Myth has a really good hand and Gone is kind of struggling, he may need both. So there's a lot that comes into play with this last game, especially with the card start. I feel like the card start might be an underrated thing that Myth will have to think about. He does want that revenge win, so it's now or never.
I mean, for Myth, we're game 9 all comes down to this. You want to get 10 wins here, get the redemption on Gone here, but you have to call your thoughts going into this final game with the control on the homestand and just everything on the line here, all riding on this.
Yeah, the card start can be a huge factor. Like it can be a make or break for me.
We'll see what Myth does, but for Gone, it's probably the tightest game I've ever played, so excited to see where it goes, and to be honest, it's anybody's game at this point, but yeah, I mean, we've kind of ran a quicker pace series, but ultimately, we are heading into our final game, and Myth's gonna have to call. All comes down to this. We'll see where he goes.
Yep, yeah. Well, so
Right.
12.
let's see. So that's the second highest for this game, but it does make sense if you think about it because he's 1 on 10 and 11. So yeah, not going for a rematch on car starts, going for something different. So we'll see how this goes. I was gonna point out this is the third game of the Swarm 16, and it's our second game 9. So we'll see who gets the win here. I mean, I'm not surprised it's got this close because we saw the last time they played it was 6-4.
Last time they played, also Myth, game 9 went 12 cards. He ended up winning that one, so maybe a little bit of history backing him on this one. But with
Ooh.
this one being best of 9 instead of best of 11, could be a slight difference maker as well.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is interesting. Maybe he thought about that, but could also be a coincidence.
I think it's more likely it's a coincidence, but just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. So both players, I think, are going to try and play safe. We see that both are not going for as many switches, but as I say that, Gone with the first switch.
All right. Again, I mean, really for both, they don't want to be in that situation where they have to draw and the other can keep going. It doesn't always mean
Right.
the end, but it's definitely gets a little bit more precarious when you consider power play is definitely going to play a factor into this one.
Both, yeah, running the greens, but then the second red 9 has been played from Myth. We'll see if that ends up being bad for Gone. Okay, he does have a red 0.
Gone had a hold there, so keeps himself good for now.
I mean, I feel like,
And oh wow, that's a fit. That doesn't work for Myth though. I think he was expecting a draw out of Gone.
yeah, for sure. And Myth's gonna have to start to play aggressive here, knowing that he doesn't want Gone to get much more of a lead from that. Despite the risky play into yellow, I don't mind it. It's hard to tell when a finish is coming because we haven't seen a lot of like big runs all game. And I feel like they could start happening at this last game. It's very possible.
Well, Gone
Ooh,
just
another
crossed
switch to
over into the
green though.
green. Just got the crossover there. How
Yeah,
does Myth
I
respond?
don't.
Oh my god, a 4-card run into
Ooh,
yellow, and he takes the lead outright.
wow. Trying to force this yellow. And it's another 9, which now, if Gon does want to switch, he probably will need at least some action cards, need to use some action cards. Because I'd be surprised if he had another 9.
And short joins up. He'll be our streamer for the MRE After Dark with Tapir, going on some late night drives. He joins the call. But we are in the middle of game 9 here. Gone with typing something up here.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Gon has 2 power plays. Maybe he's thinking about using one of them. I'd be surprised if he has a finish here.
I mean, again, we've been mentioning, I'm not sure if he knows that he has 2. I'm not sure how much he's been checking the table, if he's looking at that, or if he's thinking about something else. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for Gon, this is definitely, like, I think Gon has options. He might be thinking about, he's gonna power play here, so
Okay.
gonna go for it, gonna try to for block.
The amount of time he thought makes me think that he doesn't have the finish, but I could be wrong. He might just win here.
I don't know if it's over, unless he was just trying to figure out what the lineup was.
Let's see. 6 cards, it's very possible. Yeah, that is true. We have to see what he's doing.
Green +2, green 4.
Oh,
Okay, he's down to 3.
wow. I mean, I don't know. 3
You
no.
can't do back to back.
Well, he doesn't have the finish then, which gives
Well,
Myth an opportunity.
he might be close though. He's down to Uno.
There we go, yeah. Forcing the Uno, but gives
Well,
Myth
that's a lot of cards to throw to Myth though.
Yeah, it gives Myth a bunch of cards. But maybe Myth didn't get anything. That's possible. We've seen it before.
Well, I mean, you're thinking about it when you try to go for the back to back. I feel like Myth is gonna go for the safe option here.
I mean, yeah,
Unless
he
he
has
literally
to.
just got nothing. Yeah, +4.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes on a run here.
and
He's
the
at
run's not
11,
done
gone
as
up to
well.
7.
Oh man.
All right.
So
Okay, so the reset is 10 to 7, Gone leading.
So what I think about that play, right? Myth now has at least an idea of what one of his Gon's card is, right? Because if he was looking to power play that, he would have needed either a blue or a 7, or maybe it was just a wild. There's a lot of possibilities there, but does run, it eliminates some options as well. So I think Myth's trying to play the guessing game here, but Gon actually being able to uh, run this blue maybe more than Myth was expecting. Hoping that Gon didn't get good cards off of that +6.
We just passed 6 minutes here.
Ooh,
Gone
okay, here we
draws.
go. Opportunity for Myth here. He keeps it blue.
Well, that's actually a self-ditto there, so you're forcing another draw, but Gone gets a top deck on blue.
Okay. Does that force a draw on Myth, or is he able to keep going? I mean, at this point, now both with 1 power play, they're probably going to use it for the finish. But Myth with another +4.
It's down to 4, Gone back up to 8.
Oh my god. So both players, well, 1 +4 left in the deck. Very interesting. All wilds in play. Myth trying to put the pressure on, potentially close to a finish as well.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not sure if Gone really is going to have any options left to make force cards to get drawn. He's really just going to have to find a self-draw from Myth here.
Yeah,
Question is really, is there going to be enough time?
We'll see. Myth, maybe, I think if he has a wild, it's probably over, but we don't know yet. Maybe he doesn't have much left.
Well,
He
there's your
does have the
wild.
wild. But what is, now it comes down to what Gon has. He was drawing on blue, so you'd think this is over, but...
I think this is now
wait,
or never here at this point. Oh, he has the +4. He has the last +4 and he saves it.
That's crazy.
Gone is still alive. He gets +2 back into the scoreboard and gets flipped. No more +4s though.
Insane game, man. I got nothing. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Gon was gonna power play as a desperate double draw, but he ended up having a +4. which is huge, and a ditto play now. That's
Myth's
gonna be a
out.
draw.
So is gone.
Oh my god, okay. This is a great game 9. I mean, like, both players got some ammo, both forcing each other to draw. What more can you ask for?
Half the +2s are gone here. Both available on blue, and then one for yellow and green. I mean,
Yellow.
it's every +4 is out, but there's still 3 wilds in the picture, so
Both
there's
at
still some
6.
ammo on the table.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't expect a big run at this point, but it is still possible as the +2 comes in from Gone. Oh
It's another
man.
+2 off the table.
Yeah, there's 3 +2s left in terms of giving cards, which may not be good for Myth here. He's got to think here. He's going to just play it cool on yellow, maybe hoping for the draw.
Yellow
But he
3 gone
doesn't.
down to 3. I mean, there's no +4s left. There's no +2s on yellow. Who gets the run
Oh
there?
my
Switch to
god.
blue.
Yeah, no, that's good. You wouldn't think Gone as much blue, but then again, the draws might have favored him to get blue, so it's still possible.
I mean, there's still 3 wilds left in the deck. I mean, it's really, where do those fall? Does Gon have one
Yeah,
of them? If he does, that could help. Blue 3 down to
he
2.
does get the blue 3. Myth, blue 6. Oh my
6.
god. Let's see. If Gone is the wild,
I mean, it's over if
then
Gon
it's
has the
over
wild.
because power play. But he isn't
Uno,
gonna
okay,
power
Myth
play.
can't power play. But Gon doesn't power
Okay,
play either.
so it's not game. Technically, you would. It's
Could
not.
he try?
You probably.
That's a
Oh
huge
no.
risk to take.
Oh no.
Let's go gambling!
Oh no.
That is a huge risk from Myth. But it could be one he needs to
I
win the
know
series.
why. Because it.
And it
Oh
cost him!
man.
Oh my god! Oh man! Wow.
Well. I think I know why Myth did that because he probably had a power play finish. If he didn't. Yep, I knew it. Yep,
Man.
that's why. I mean, I understand it. It's tough because of the you can't use power play on Uno. You're yeah, that's man.
And that's gonna be the tournament for Myth. Gon goes up 2-0 in the Lifetime series. Um, I mean, that's the risk you take. Ultimately, that is a fatal switch that will end the tournament for Myth and end his regular season. But wow, what a final game. 10 minutes, 17 seconds. By far longest of the series. I mean, Myth, your thoughts on that game? That was a real back and forth. There were a lot of times where both of you got close, but ultimately, it's the fatal switch there that caps things off.
Yeah, it was a nail-biting game from start to finish. Like either player could win, and then the time when he messed up on the second power play gave me an opener to keep going for a decent bit.
And that is true also. Gon ultimately, power play had a bit of a kerfuffle there that kind of threw him off a bit. That kind of reset the game in a bit. Ultimately, both players have one power play still in their pocket at the end of that one. But we'll go to Gon that one. He's definitely got to be feeling everything after that because that was a really close one. But Yoshi, I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, so obviously that is interesting. Like you think about taking the gamble. Like I feel like I guess to Gon's point where if he was in Myth's position, what would he have done? I mean, I think the only way you could have prevented the win there was power play before he was at Uno, which then would have but then you would have been forced to use the wild green, which I don't know. Like it's tough because if Gon, yeah, I mean, if Gon got a green number, a green reverse, it would have been he would have won anyway due to the because he would have had a double play. I don't know. Um, Yeah, I think obviously drawing there would have guaranteed that the game continued, but Myth not. But Myth thinking that because from my point, because what I was thinking was Myth if Gon drew, Myth wins. If that the game was over as soon as Myth went for that green because either Gon draws and Myth wins or Gon wins. So it was just a gamble, and that's heartbreaking for that things to not work out there. But you knew it was a risk, and unfortunately, ends up costing you the series. But for Myth, is not much to be concerned about. Getting another Sweet 16 is nice. I think putting himself in a position where he'll, he could potentially be on a bye, maybe a double bye. There's a lot for Myth. I think seeing as a lot of the top players got out earlier than him, this is definitely pretty good. I think he's still got a lot to look forward to because chances are he's in Super League. Gon puts himself in a position where I think you almost have to say he's in Super League at this point because this is another big win. His resume is looking pretty ridiculous. He plays either, let me see, Andy or Tago. Yeah, I mean, he's such an interesting player. I mean, one of the more successful rookies. Very nice to see that. I'm curious of how far he can get. Maybe can he make another finale run? I don't know, but uh, only time will tell. Very, very good game. Myth goes down, but it's not like he needed this win. Gon definitely looking ends up securing his chances because I feel like you get a win on Myth and then followed by the wins he's got
not
prior.
even just one win, 2 wins. He has 2 wins on Myth now. So.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, no, this is almost like My Health Cyan in a way because both of the games they've played were close, but at the end of the day, the same player ends up winning. So very interesting to think about there. But yeah, I mean, not much else to say. Great game, and looking forward to how Gon plays in the next round.
All right, for Gon, got his response for the series for the game. Managed to mess up one of the power plays out of 2, so it didn't deliver on the promise from before. Savage game kept him drawing back in vital moments, and ultimately the slip up from him managed to give me the win. I'm also playing cards with the family at this point, and my brother is sitting one hand away from winning, so it's been a stressful 10 minutes. So, Gon with 2 games going on at once, it seems. Yeah, managing to win this one on stream for MRE, and we'll see if he can win that one with his family. But yeah, really good series. Again, Yoshi, any final remarks here? I mean, we'll jump to the bracket here again as it's updated. Gon moves on, beats Myth, and then we'll find out who Gon's opponent is later tonight with Tago Andy. Tapir, not sure, going to take care of that one with some after dark drives, but I mean, again, your thoughts on how this day has been, because that's the first upset of the round also. The first 2 matches went the way of the higher seed, but Gon able to pull the upset in this one. I mean, your thoughts on what this 10 p.m. match now means with Andy and Tago as they will be facing off Gon in the round of 8, especially with it now being undetermined home field, because if Andy wins, Andy gets home field, but if Tago wins, Gon will get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. I feel like for both Andy and Tago, they're just trying to get as far as they can.
Andy trying to um, make his case strong for Super League, and then Tago just wanting to just win the tournament. So, I mean, both players kind of not really caring who they play. It's just if they just want to keep winning. So, I think they do have to take in the information of how does the way that Gon plays because it is a little bit tricky, right? Like we see how he plays against Myth, and even when he loses, he still has like good ideas that just don't end up working out. So you always got to be careful with him. He hasn't, from the tournaments that he's played, he hasn't, he wins a lot more than he loses. So I feel like getting a win on Gon would be pretty impressive. So both players will have to watch out for him, whoever ends up winning. But yeah, I mean, Andy Tago, that's going to be a ridiculous match. So we'll see who gets the edge. Because Gon, I think, one of the more unknowns considering he's played less tournaments, and definitely a scary opponent. So a lot to think about for whoever gets that. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Gon is definitely a threat to make it far. Wouldn't be surprised if he got to the finale again to get a run back for a tournament win. We'll see. There's a lot on the line here.
Yeah, again, here's your quick preview for tonight's match also before we close off this stream. Again, I think a lot to play for both players. Taco playing for a season. Andy just wanted to make a regional final. They're 0-3 in the round of 16 in their career, so they're hoping to finally break through. Again, CPU has Andy winning 5-3. We'll see how that one turns out, but yeah, again, that will do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, here's the schedule, which you just got. Again, Gon gets the win 5-4. Andy Katago will wrap up the night. We'll have Short and Superior cover that one for y'all, but that'll do it for us. Tunnel region wrapping up here, and then we'll have some more action for you tomorrow as well. 3 games tomorrow, I believe, on the slate, and then we'll wrap up with a final match on the 15th to close out the round, which will ultimately be a 72-hour window pretty much. So pretty quick round, and that's kind of like how we like it sometimes. But thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you're new here, make sure to join the MRE Discord server for more updates, along with other streams and whatnot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And on behalf of my co-commentator Yoshi and all of the people who came out to watch, thank you all so much for watching. Congrats to Gon on getting the win, going up 2-0 on Myth, and moving on to the regional finals for the second time this season. But until then, I'm G-Man, and until later tonight, where we'll have some after dark drives with Short and Tapir. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you then. Have a good one.
This has been a presentation of MRE Uno Division 1.